It seems strange when we see how massive the impact of Kaido and Big Mom's fall is, and how it has drastically shifted the balance of power in the world. The world before their defeat was one thing, and after their downfall, it became something entirely different. Despite this enormous impact, we still don't know the fate of these two. In this video, I'll try to explain what really happened to them. Like and subscribe, and let's get started. Anyone who has followed the story of One Piece, or even just watched the anime, knows that Big Mom is the Yonko who received the most focus from the writer, at least in terms of appearances. Although many of those appearances were annoying, repetitive, and full of silly behavior, the writer insisted on diving deeper into her character. We were shown her childhood, how she was both incredibly strong and kind-hearted at the same time. But that kindness, mixed with her ignorance, ended up hurting others. We saw her time with the giants in Elbaf, and how she killed one of their heroes, Yorl, with a single blow. According to Mother Caramel, if Big Mom had joined the Navy, she could have become an admiral or even the fleet commander. She is undeniably one of the strongest characters in One Piece, and the most powerful female character without question. After all the annoying and unbalanced moments from Lin, many of us started to feel that we never wanted to see her again. How could such a foolish character be this important? But Oda didn't end her story in Whole Cake Island, he brought her back in Wano. And as usual, fans, both casual and hardcore, followed along. Lin was portrayed as a complete character, having overwhelming power, an amazing devil fruit, and a loyal crew, most of whom were her own children. The only thing she lacked to become Pirate Queen was wisdom. Her foolishness held her back for decades. And although her behavior was often exaggerated, her story still hasn't ended. Her territories are still under the control of her children. Her crew hasn't scattered or fallen apart. This is very strange if Lin really died. In fact, the strongest members of her crew still guard those lands, characters like Daifuku, Smoothie, Oven, and others. So the Big Mom pirates haven't collapsed, not yet. Isn't that strange? Even her final scene didn't feel like a proper farewell. With confidence, she said, "You think this will kill me? I'll get my revenge." Then she started talking about Roger and the One Piece. Does that sound like someone who's about to die? What do you think? And realistically, how can her children continue defending Whole Cake Island without their mother? What are they supposed to say? We waited for Big Mom, she didn't come back, so we gave up? That's ridiculous. They must have searched for her in Wano, found her, and brought her back. But what about Kaido? Kaido, unlike Big Mom, was a complete character. He had intelligence, principles, strategic thinking, charisma, and absolute strength. He was the perfect final villain for the main character. He defeated countless strong people one after another until he stood at the top, called the strongest creature in the world. But standing at the top made him bored. No one could match him. So he began to wish for a glorious death. A death like Whitebeard's, or Roger's, or even Odin's. He envied Odin for his heroic death, dying in front of thousands, immortalized in history. That's what Kaido wanted. But Luffy, as Oda said, doesn't kill his enemies. He destroys their dreams. And that's worse than death. Luffy destroyed Kaido's greatest dream, dying a glorious death. Remember the theory that said Zoro would kill Kaido? That famous theory supported by dozens of clues, so strong no sane fan could ignore it. But in the end, it didn't happen. And honestly, if it had, Kaido would have received a more glorious ending than any character ever got. Imagine it, Joy Boy opens a path, and Ryuma, represented by Zoro, delivers the final blow. Kaido dies in front of the people of Wano, remembered forever. A legendary moment. But that's not what happened. Instead, he died off-screen, in the dark, under the earth, drowned in magma, burned slowly. The most humiliating end for someone like Kaido. Luffy didn't give him death. He gave him nothing. Now, I know some of you are thinking, how could magma kill Kaido? He's the strongest creature in the world. Couldn't he escape? Good question. That's why I believe the one who truly killed Kaido was Lin. Big Mom's power comes from harvesting the souls of others. So if she couldn't escape the magma herself, maybe she looked at Kaido and said, "Don't forget the debt you owe me. I saved your life at God Valley. Now it's your turn." Then she pulled Kaido's soul, escaped the volcano, found her crew in ruins, and left with them while Kaido's body remained buried and forgotten. So when people ask, what happened to Kaido, they'll say, "I don't know. Luffy hit him and he fell into the volcano." That's the total destruction of Kaido's dream. What do you think? Is Kaido truly dead? Or does the image of Onigashima buried beneath Old Wano hint at his survival? And what about Big Mom? After the huge energy she spent in Wano, and escaping from the lava, maybe she's weakened, now just a short, grumpy old woman like Stussy or Gloriosa. Maybe she'll never return to her full power. Maybe Oda will use this to write her out of the power struggle. Because if she regains her strength, she'll be back in the story, and she's still one of the strongest characters in One Piece. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And with that, we reach the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.